Welcome to Golden Blue, everybody, home of the college football fan. And don't forget about the checklist. Hat check, sunglasses check, Pepsi check, notes check, sources check, and thick skin is a check. And don't forget to sing gear to represent your team and yourself in my background. Send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina, 29657, and get yourself a shout out. On to the next video. In case you're wondering, these are the teams that we don't have represented for the mini helmets. As you can see, we actually have quite a few big brands that's not represented here at Golden Blue. I do know that Nevada and Cincinnati are on their way as far as mini helmet representation. So get your team represented here on Golden Blue. Hey, you already know what time it is, so might as well sit down, brace yourself, and buckle up because you are entering the speculation zone. I've said in multiple videos that the two teams we need to be looking out for is Colorado and Utah because those two have been the most quiet when it comes to this whole Pac-12 situation. Well, it seems like we are starting to hear, especially from Colorado, a little bit from Utah, but especially from Colorado, and it looks like some big changes could be on the way very soon for the Pac-12. Speaking of making changes, Golden Blue Dude and Mint Mobile have partnered up to give you a great deal on your wireless service. All of us can use extra money, whether it's for gas, whether it's for groceries, a vacation, maybe a new car. But you look at your budget and there's nothing you can do as far as cutting costs. Well, there is one option, and that's lowering your costs on your wireless plan, but still having great service. That's where Mint Mobile comes in. You can get a premium wireless plan for as low as $15 a month. I'm telling you, this is amazing. It's so amazing that my entire family is switching over to Mint Mobile. My family, my brothers, my parents, we're all doing it. Use my link in the description of the video to get premium wireless service from Mint Mobile starting at $15 a month. Just go to mintmobile.com/goldenblue, or you can scan the QR code that's displayed on the screen. Listen, stop paying more than you need on your wireless bill and start saving big with Mint Mobile. It's easy to switch, no long lines like you see at a big wireless store, unlimited nationwide talk and text, lightning fast 5G, and free mobile hotspot. Family plans are available and they're very affordable. Mint Mobile actually shows you how much data you use and will recommend a plan to save you the most money. So they'll set you up with a personal plan. I was spending hundreds of dollars on my wireless plan. Well, Mint Mobile is much cheaper. You can get a plan for as low as $15 a month. There's no excuse not to switch to Mint Mobile. So just do what Golden Blue Dude did and make the switch today. Once again, that link is mintmobile.com/goldenblue. Or scan the QR code and let's make the switch together. Let's start saving money. Yes, by the way, this will be a Get It Gang video. If you don't know what the Get It Gang is, it's basically a name that I came up with for the group of people that leave video ideas in the comment section of my videos. So if you think that you have a good video idea, leave it in the comment section of this video or any other video, and I just might use it on my next video. So the first one is from Vernon Sheldon Witter. Says Colorado BOR, or Board of Regents, just called a special meeting to discuss legal advice on a specific matter and an athletics update on the Pac-12. So they're calling a meeting. Okay, this is getting interesting. College football's peak around the corner says Colorado, once again Colorado and Arizona, we've been talking about Arizona, are the odds-on candidate to jump first to the Big 12 per Pete the Mail. Outkick says this. Now, they're not a Get It Gang member, but I'm using them as a source. There's been reported contact between Brett Yormark's conference, the Big 12, and Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. If those four schools can't at least earn the same in the Pac-12, jumping ship only makes sense. Outkick also says Colorado is calling a special meeting and nonstop issues with the Pac-12. So they're backing up the Get It Gang comment. Colorado calling a special meeting. It's previously been reported the Big 12 has been in contact with the Buffaloes. Is Colorado getting ready to jump in a lifeboat and row away from the Pac-12? Another Get It Gang video idea is from the comedy guy. He says, I live in Utah. I hear all the coaches are for joining the Big 12. The president of U, Utah, is the only roadblock right now. That is just what I heard. So there is a little bit of a roadblock for Utah, but for Colorado, it looks full steam ahead. Now, I've mentioned this specific Get It Gang video idea comment previously, but I want to readdress it. This was from Jamie Thornton. Word is, this coming week is the last chance the PAC has. They are holding an all-school meeting at the basketball tournament this week. Everyone is going to be talking and looking at the numbers one last time, but $22 million per team per year was confirmed by several sources today. Even worse, 75% streaming. It seems like Colorado is about to jump on board. They're having a special meeting. They're going to discuss what they think about the Pac-12, this new TV deal. It's being confirmed by several sources that it is $22 million per team per year, which is not only less, but that's $10 million per team per year less than the Big 12. So that's a massive gap. Why would you not jump from the Pac-12 if that's the case? The only thing that's holding Oregon and Washington in the Pac-12 right now is possibly getting an unequal revenue share, getting more than everybody else. But even if they did that, they would get less than if they joined the Big Ten at a reduced revenue share. They would make more with a reduced revenue share for the Big Ten than if they did with an unequal revenue share from the Pac-12. So they're trying to figure out if the Pac-12 can even approach the numbers of the reduced revenue share of the Big Ten. Now, I don't think Oregon and Washington have any interest in joining the Big 12. There's no shot of Oregon and Washington joining the Big 12, not even as a stepping stone, unless the Pac-12 actually looks like it's about to dissolve, or they're going to make way less, and unequal revenue share is not even a possibility. I just don't think Oregon and Washington is even interested. I don't think it's a possibility. But you know what? I've been shocked before, so you just never know. So the big thing is, we've heard that Arizona very upset with the Pac-12, don't like the numbers. They've actually reached out to the Big 12. The Big 12 has been talking to Arizona. It's been confirmed that the Big 12 has been talking to all four corner schools. And now Colorado is about to hold a special meeting. This could be the point where Colorado finally makes up their mind. They're like, look, the Pac-12 is not going to come up with the numbers that we want. The Big 12 is going to be at least $10 million more for us a year if we go over to the Big 12. What do we want to do, folks? I know it's not exactly the best situation, us going back to a conference that we left to join the Pac-12, but hey, it's better than staying in the Pac-12 and making significantly less. And I also think that hiring Coach Prime would give them more confidence going into the Big 12, because let's face it, right now the Pac-12 might be the easier avenue or the easier path as far as getting to the playoffs. Remember, the Pac-12 champion is going to be guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. But by hiring Coach Prime, you're increasing the brand worth. Your NIL revenue has gone through the roof. Transfers, over 200 transfers reached out to Colorado within 48 hours of hiring Coach Prime. So maybe now that they hired Coach Prime, they think that the football is headed in the right direction, and they think that Colorado would be just fine going back to the Big 12, and that they could compete for a Big 12 championship, and boom, that's their avenue to get to the playoffs. Because the Big 12 champion also is guaranteed a spot in the new playoffs. So hiring Coach Prime, that's a big deal. That's the thing that could tilt this needle towards the Big 12. Because without Coach Prime, if they were in the same situation as last year as far as a terrible football team and having to rebuild from a bad season, they might want to stay in a weaker conference. That way their road to relevancy is much easier and much quicker, rather than joining a conference that's going to be much more difficult to win, especially with USC and UCLA leaving the Pac-12. It's going to be a little bit easier. So I think hiring Coach Prime is definitely a way for Colorado to be confident in leaving the Pac-12 and joining the Big 12. So what this meeting is specifically about is talking about the Pac-12, how it's going to affect their athletics as far as the new TV deal. Is that enough for them to sustain their athletics? Is that enough for them to be able to retain Coach Prime for the foreseeable future? That is a question that Colorado has to ask themselves. It's one thing to actually hire Coach Prime. It's another thing to actually be able to retain him once the other bigger names come calling for him. And it will happen. If he has success at Colorado, and they expect him to, I expect him to as well, then they're going to have to make sure that they have the money to retain him. Staying in the Pac-12, they might not have that money. Going to the Big 12 might actually help Colorado make sure that they will be able to retain Coach Prime for the foreseeable future. That's something that they're going to have to talk about. So not only are they going to talk about making a decision for the now, what's better for the now, but making a decision for what's better for the future. And right now, it looks like the better decision for Colorado, and Arizona for that matter, for now and for the future, is to join the Big 12. Now, for Utah, it looks like the president is the only roadblock, but that is a big roadblock. So somehow, some way, the coaches, the rest of the administration, the Board of Regents, I don't know, has to convince the president that yes, this is the right move. Utah needs to go to the Big 12. We will make significantly more. Let's be honest, significantly more. I mean, $10 million per year, that's significantly more. So once they can convince the president, then Utah will be on board, and then it will be full on exodus for the four corner schools. So it looks like Arizona is on board. It looks like Colorado is about to be on board. It looks like Utah is just one person away from being on board, and Arizona State is also on board. Remember, Arizona and Arizona State will agree to either stay in the Pac-12 or go to the Big 12. So it seems like that they are agreeing to go to the Big 12 because they do have legislation in place to where one team has to go where the other one goes. So it seems like Arizona and Arizona State are in agreement. Colorado is about to be in agreement, and Utah is one step away from being in agreement. So y'all in the comment section, number one, it looks like Arizona and Arizona State, they are willing to jump to the Big 12. So do you think this meeting Colorado will decide, hey, it's time to jump to the Big 12? Number two, do you think whoever it may be can convince the president of Utah to decide that Utah needs to join the Big 12? And finally, number three, do you think Utah does decide that the best thing is to join the Big 12 and all four of the four corners join the Big 12? Or do you think Utah still holds out and only three of the four corner schools join the Big 12? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.